I'm Amy Cherry. This local news is a service of Flagler County's Toyota dealer, Beaver Toyota, here to wow ya.
We will depend on the public to maintain good, safe practices out there.
The trial run of reopening Flagler's beaches on a temporary basis went so well, they're now open 24/7. County Administrator Jerry Cameron.
We've got really positive compliance there, so there was no real reason to have a time period that the beaches would be open every day, because the reason that we did the time period initially was because of the impact to law enforcement, or the potential for impact.
Cameron says the more the public shows responsibility, the more things can open up as Flagler looks towards reopening its economy. Though even as more things do begin to open up, it'll be a new normal, one where social distancing is a must. A Palm Coast man is arrested on charges of child abuse and neglect. Deputies say 54-year-old Craig Ripple had been putting laxatives in his 14-year-old son's medication after the child's mother showed deputies tampered medication and security footage that showed Ripple removing items from the child's bedroom. The alleged weird behavior goes back to the summer of 2019. The boy's mother says she dismantled her son's tablet to find several round pink tablets with a black number 5 printed on them. They were later identified as laxatives. Her son also refused to take the medicine, saying it tasted weird and made him sick. The boy wasn't seriously hurt. Deputies say Ripple admitted to messing with his son's medicine. Sheriff Rick Staley called it a bizarre case involving a sick and twisted father. Police say the victim has since moved out of state and has no contact with his dad. A local official offers an apology to residents following a controversial public works project. John Arking reports.
Flagler Beach City Manager Larry Newsom sent a letter of regret to residents Friday concerning what he called the city's overall poor management of a much-needed stormwater project. Newsom says the Swale project was initiated by a $500,000 grant received from the St. John's Water Management District to reduce downhill flooding and the discharge of contaminants into local water bodies before being treated. He admits the flow of information from the city to residents could have and should have been much better, and that communication from City Hall on activity in citizens' front yards that could potentially impact secondary parking in the right-of-way should have been distributed.
What I consider was the icing on the cake is when I drove around Friday, contract had cut up about 10 to 13 blocks of swales, put dirt there over the weekend, and also didn't go in inside the swales. You know, the citizens, they were having problems getting in and out of their yard. So we learned from our mistake, and I just felt like I owed the citizens an apology as the city manager. And truly, like I said when I got hired here, I believe in making whatever mistakes I make them one time only. I make new ones from that point forward. We're bringing in a new contractor. We'll clean up this mess. We'll get this project taken care of and let the people get back to their quality of life.
Following that discovery, Newsom made a decision to not pay any additional fees and terminate the contractor as of April 22nd. He says a new contractor was hired from the existing bid package, which will begin work as of today on what he called an aggressive work schedule to complete all required work well within the grant schedule. From the WNZF Newsroom, I'm John Arkin.
Flagler County Sheriff's deputies did exactly what the doormat said. Tony Magoo explains.
Upon arrival, we noticed that at their front door, they had a welcome mat that said, "Come back with a warrant." So we did.
The Flagler County Sheriff's Office Major Case Unit and the Special Investigations Unit executed a search warrant at 19 Blow Court in Palm Coast early Friday morning. During their search of the residence, detectives found over 2.5 grams of fentanyl, dozens of used syringes, along with other drug paraphernalia. 4 residents were secured, but no arrests have been made at this time as the investigation is ongoing. Detectives contacted the Florida Department of Children and Families regarding a child at the residence. They still have some follow-up work to do, but for now, the deadly drugs and syringes seized are off the streets. Fentanyl is 50 times stronger than heroin and 100 times stronger than morphine. Sheriff Staley.
You should never taunt law enforcement because we are going to get you.
For Flagler's Morning News, I'm Tony Magoo.
Is it time to reopen Flagler County? Even medical doctors are asking that question. Dr. Scott Cleos does elective surgeries and says business is down.
I'd probably say we're at 30% of our normal volume. So we're 70% down from where we were prior to the COVID pandemic.
He said when they do reopen, his office will make changes to mitigate risks to doctors, patients, and staff. Scott's wife, Dr. Andrea Cleos, heads up the Volusia Medical Society and works at the VA. She said that there are protocols in for reopening as we emerge from the coronavirus called the GATE criteria.
And the GATE criteria requires a decrease in community symptoms for a 14-day period, a decrease in hospitalizations for a 14-day period. That is a trend downward, obviously, and then decrease of incidental cases in the community.
Andrea Cleo said that the protocols are based on what the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid, or CMS, have put forth. To listen to the interview, download the Flagler radio app and go to the Free for All Friday podcast. From the WNZF Newsroom, I'm Rich Carroll.
And now you're up to date on Flagler's Morning News. I'm Amy Cherry.